Hello, good evening, everyone. I hope I'm audible. I welcome you all to GRE Preparation Made Easy Quantitative Reasoning class by Mrs. Annapurna Murugan. Here are a few instructions for the participants. Make sure you have a stable internet connection and noise-free environment. We recommend you to use your earphones for best experience. Also, please respect your instructor and your classmates. Do not write anything inappropriate on the chat box. Also, to answer the polls, you will have to click on the More button and then you will get the option for activities. From there, you will see two options where you will get polls. Also, we have three packages, that is bronze, silver, and gold. If you upgrade to silver and gold, you'll get extra benefits like evaluated mock tests, expert university recommendations, and so on. We also have free profile evaluation with our experts, comprehensive evaluation, university shortlisting, course recommendations, recommendation reports, and doubt clearance. Also, free live IELTS classes, that is from Monday to Friday, 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. It is a 4-week course, and free Duolingo classes Monday to Friday, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. It is a 2-week course. Here are a few achievements. This is the Ubergrad website. You can select the country, course, and specialization when you go and explore. We have countries, universities, courses, and exams. You can get all the information from here when you go on solution. We have free profile evaluation, talk to the counselor, country recommendations, test preparation stores, additional services. Also, weekly blogs are uploaded. You may go through them. Also, to contact us, you can call us, WhatsApp us, or mail us. Also, when you go on My Test Preparation and click on GRE View Course, you get the weekly handouts and recordings. So, if you've missed any classes, you can go and check the recordings and handouts. Also, I'll be sharing the link. Also, if you have any other doubt, you may ask at the end of the session. Thank you. Have a great session.
Hi guys, good evening. So happy Bhai Dooj for you all. And yes, today we are going to work on ratios and proportions. So I hope everyone is ready for the same. Okay, I'm going to present the screen, guys. So kindly respond whenever it is required. Kindly answer the questions. And also, if you have any doubts, please stay till the end and get clarified with the same. Okay, so I'm going to present quickly the screen. Just give me 1 second. Yes. As I said, today we are going to speak about our ratios and proportions. What do you guys mean with regards to ratios? What do you think that ratios are? Can anybody tell me in the form of text? So can anyone tell me what ratios are? Ratios. So basically, what do we mean by ratios? Ratios means basically comparing. So things, so on the same, this one, what is that? Element or on the same parameter, if we are comparing two quantities, so then we speak that or we address that comparison as ratios. Okay, so basically this ratio is nothing but comparison of two quantities on same parameter. On what? On same parameter. So that comparison, so we consider that as a ratio. So okay, so usually ratio, the general form of ratio is what? A is to B. What is the general form of ratio? A is to B. And so this further for calculations, we put it in the fraction A by B. Okay, we put it in A by B form. Whereas, so here you guys need to know what is A and what is B addressed as. Any guesses what A and what B is addressed as? A is addressed as antecedent. B is addressed as consequent. Now you may be wondering, why do we require this one, terminologies? Why do we want to have this terminologies? Okay, so now, so if you see here, So what happens, you will be seeing that in most of the questions in GRE, we know that we'll be having in the comparison way, like you will be having different questions, different types of questions. Okay, so when they give the questions for comparisons and all, so they would be asking whether antecedent will be more or the consequent will be more. So like that they will be asking. So you should not wonder what is this antecedent and what is this consequent. Okay, so therefore in ratio, so we have two terms. So one is your antecedent and another one is consequent. And remember one more thing, that this ratio should be compared on the same parameters. That means if we are comparing two students, so we should compare, say two students marks we are comparing, we should compare. If you're taking math, you need to compare on math only. I cannot compare two students marks on math and science, whereas individual students marks can be compared on two different subjects. That is fine. Okay, because your individual student is acting as a common parameter. So make sure that if you're comparing two individuals, so let the comparison be on the same idea. Let the comparison be on the same idea. So that is what we need to do here. So let me take the whiteboard so that I would like to explain few more things, few more important things with regards to this one. Because we usually think that, okay, ratios means this is what the thing. But let me tell few important things associated with the ratios. Okay. So I'll be using this fresh screen to explain them. First and foremost, as I said, their units also should be same. Units should be same. That's the reason what happens when you're talking about A is to B, will not have any ratios. Why? Because the units gets cancelled. Remember. Okay, units gets cancelled. And also this ratio should be in its simplest form. Remember that. So what? It should be in simplest form. So what do we mean by simplest form? A and B should be co-prime numbers. What it is? Co-prime numbers. That implies this one in the last class we discussed about co-prime numbers. So co-prime numbers means what? Their HCF should be 1 always, remember. And whenever you are taking the ratios in the form of original numbers, so you can't take, so that, so x will be equal to A and y will be equal to B. It is wrong. Why? Because this is just in terms of simple portions. That means there is some common element that has been taken out. So therefore it should be what? X is equals to A times P, y also is equals to B times P. That means this is the original complete number of x and y that will be having. So never ever take. So okay, so for example, so if you think that, okay, so 100 rupees is distributed in the form of 2:3, okay, to A and B. So that means what? We can't say that, so A will get 2 and B will get 3. No, A will get some portions of 2 and B will get some portions of 3, and that portion is what? X. What is that per portion? It is X. So now we can say that 2x plus 3x should be, total portion is 100. But this total portion is divided into 2 portions and 3 portions. You will get that x portion value. Okay, what is that? 5x is equals to 100. So x is equals to 20. So x, that portion, that common element that has been taken out from the ratio is what? 20. Therefore A will be getting what? 2 into 20, 40, and B will be getting 3 into 20, that is 60. So that means what? So now this is the real numbers that A and B get. It is not 2 and 3, guys. Okay, remember this thing. Firstly, that A and B won't be getting 2 and 3, but they will be getting 2 portions and 3 portions. That portion is unknown here. That portion is the variable that you people need to always keep in mind. Okay, these are few things that you need to keep in mind. Now let me talk about the ratios nature. Okay, the nature of the ratios, I don't know whether you people remember these things or not. Yes, if A is to B, like, so then how can we define this A is to B? There appears one condition where A is greater than B, where A is less than B, and A will be equal to B. So these three conditions, okay, we will be having. So what is that? A is to B when A is greater than B, when A is less than B, and when A is equal to B. See, all these simple ideas very much important when you equate. A is greater than B, I will be saying that ratio. So if the ratio is like this, if we have a condition A is greater than B, then the ratio is of greater ratio. That means if I have 3 is to 2, then so that is of what? Greater ratio. Whereas A is less than B, if I have 2 is to 3, then we say that it is lesser ratio. What do we say? We say that it is lesser ratio. If we say 2 is to 2, so that means what? So in its simplest form, it will be 1 is to 1. So that means the ratios will be equal. Getting it? So depending upon, and one more thing I would like to say here, so the greater ratio will always, the simplified form will be always greater than 1, whereas the lesser ratio will always be less than 1, and equal ratio equal to 1 it will be. For example, here you can see 1.5, here it will be 0.666, and here it will be, see, 2 and 2 gets cancelled, it is 1 and 1, so it is 1 as our option. So therefore what we have, so this is greater than 1, lesser than 1, and equal to 1. This is what we basically have here. Okay, so this is what we speak about: greater ratio, lesser ratio, and equal ratio. Now when we do modifications for this ratio, what exactly happens here? So what is that we are talking about when we talk about these ratios? Okay, so when we do certain kind of modifications, remember one thing: when you multiply anything with anything with greater ratio, see, I have here, what is that? If I have A is to B, okay, so if I multiply A into X is to B into X, that means when I multiply anything with both, that means that common thing should be multiplied, okay, antecedent and consequent, so the ratio remains same. Ratio remains same. Okay, for example, you see, 3 is to 2 we had. Okay, so now what I'll write, 3 into 4 is to 2 into 4. I'm multiplying 4 together. So when we, let us simplify, 12 is to 8. Again, when you simplify here, or 12 divided by 8 is what? So 8 ones 8, remainder, so 1.5. See, if you do it, it is remaining constant. Here, here also it is 1.5. That means what? Basically, if you start dividing also, simplifying it also, it will be same. Even for the lesser ratio also, the ratio remains same. If you multiply constant term with antecedent and consequent, you see that the ratio remains same only on multiplication. For equal ratio also, what happens? So the ratio remains same if you multiply a component, a same component with antecedent and consequent. Fine. When you divide So same component or same element with both what is your antecedent and consequent. What happens now? You people would have got an idea. What will be happening here? Here the ratio remains same no matter whether it is greater ratio, lesser ratio, it remains same. For example, so 3 is to 2 I have. So 3 divided by 5, 2 divided by 5, if I take 3 by 5, so whole thing divided by 2 by 5, it goes off 3 by 5 into 5 by 2. 5 gets cancelled, see 3 by 2 only we get, this implies 3 is to 2. Even lesser ratio if you take 2 is to 3 if I take. So 2 by 5 is to 3 by 5. So which is nothing but 2 by 5 into 5 by 3. So you can see that it gets cancelled and 2 is to 3 we get. So that means what? The ratio remains same when we multiply or divide. So antecedent and consequent with same thing, no matter whether it is greater ratio, lesser ratio or equal ratio, it remains same. But now the trend happens here. Many times on GRE, we have found this question. If a number is added, a number is added to antecedent and consequent. Now on different levels, what happens? So they may ask for greater ratio, what happens? For lesser ratio, what happens? See, if I take the greater ratio, 3 is to 2. Now what is the thing that we have? 1.5. But if I start adding some common element, 3 plus 5 is to 2 plus 5. So what it becomes? 8 is to 7. So do you think the ratio will remain same? The ratio will not remain same. Why? You can see that 8 is to 7 is what? So 1.1, 1, 1. What is happening? The ratio was 1.5, but now the ratio, the modified ratio has become less. From this, what you understand, whenever a element is added to both numerator and denominator, it is observed that the greater ratios values start decreasing. What happens? The greater ratios values decreases. Okay. So what happens here? You see that the greater ratio value start decreasing. But when we see the lesser ratio, 2 is to 3, what is that? 0.666. Now I'll do the same thing. I'll start adding 2 plus 5 is to 3 plus 5. It becomes 7 is to 8. So it becomes what? So 7. So 7 and 8. How much you will be getting, guys, here? So it will become 0.7 in the sense 8 8s 64. So it is something 0.8. You can see here for lesser ratio what is happening. So as we had some common element to antecedent and consequent, so the ratio increases. That means, see, you need to remember only this concept. When you remember this concept, in one step, you people will be getting the answers there. Okay. So what is that? For greater ratios, if we had some element, then the ratios start decreasing. For the smaller ratios or lesser ratios, if you add something, the values increases comparatively. Okay. So that means I can say 2 is to 3 will be less than 2 plus 5 is to 3 plus 5. Okay, this is the thing. And 3 is to 2, so is, what is that? Greater than, so this one, what is that? Sorry, greater than, so what is that? 3 plus 5 is to 2 plus 5. Okay. So that's the thing we have. For equal ratios, it will remain constant no matter. Okay. For example, 2 is to 2 we have. You had 2 plus 3 is to 2 plus 3. What happens? 5 is to 5. So for equal ratios, it doesn't matter. So, but for this one, it will be mattering here. Okay. Remember this particular thing. This is one of the important thing that you people need to keep in mind. Let me talk about proportions here. Okay. Now, what is this proportions? Proportions are nothing but the equivalence of ratios. So when we compare, when we equalize, so more than one ratio set, then we can say that it is proportion. What we can say? So we can say that it is so proportion. For example, if you see A is to B is equalized to C is to D. Okay. Now don't get, see what we do commonly when we are speaking also, when we try to confuse ratios with proportions, proportions with ratios. See, ratio is single comparison. But proportion is what? So the comparisons which are equal, okay? That means multiple ratios which are equal to each other, so that we consider as what? Proportions. A is to B, so and C is to D. So this is the basic representation of ratio. What is this? So you can see that this is the basic representation of our proportions. In fact, this can be even written as A by B is equals to C by D. And now this also should have some kind of namings. So here the one which is at the ends, okay, A and D we call as what? Extremes. While B and C we call as means. Okay. So A and D is extremes and B and C is means. So that we represent here. So, and also if you see, the product of extremes will be equal to product of means. A into D is equals to C into B. So that is what we basically have here. See, this is not the one thing. Now what happens? So we get the ratios and we'll be confused what operations we can do and what operations we can't do here. Here, let me tell some of the modifications, some of the things that you guys can do. So when you're when you're handling the proportion, see, the problems I'll be doing later, but some of the basic things you people need to remember here. So if I have A is to B is equals to C is to D. Like this, we'll have many equivalents, okay, no matter here. Again, they are in the simplest form, okay. So now how we represent this? A by B is equals to C by D. Now, what is that modification I can do here is what? So I can just take, what is that? I can, this one, what is that? Change this one. Okay, that means, so B by A is equals to D by C. What is this? That means I can make antecedent to consequent, consequent to antecedent. I can change. But if I'm doing this here, then I need to do this. When you people equalize, you can do this modification. And this modification is called as what? Inverted O. Okay. The other modification is what? A by C. That means I'll be taking, what is that? The consequence on one side, and so your this one antecedents on one side. So this is called as what? Alternando. Okay, and then what do we have here? So this is one invertendo, we can say alternando, we can say even componendo. Componendo is compounding, means what? Adding. So if I take, so alternate componendo, A plus B by B should also equal to C plus D by D. That means whatever the changes you do it on the first set, so you should do that on the second set, then the ratio again remains same here. That means the simplified form of this ratio will again be same. That is what we are trying to show here. Okay. And also I can even do, this is what, this is component. Why? We are compounding. Compounding means adding up. So now we can have the dividend also. A minus B divided by D is equals to C minus D divided by D. See, again, I'm using only these terms only. I'm not interchanging the terms here. So this is called as what? Dividendo. See, when you people are doing the calculations, you can make all these calculations if you require. Okay. And then we have the combination of componendo and dividendo. That is nothing but A plus B by A minus B is also equal to. So that ratio will also be equal to C plus D by C minus C. You see that their ratios tends to be same, and hence we call it as what? Componendo and dividendo together. Okay. So, and one more thing I would like to say here is like, we all know that whenever they are talking about multiple ratios, or whenever they are talking about the proportions, so this implies multiple ratios will be similar or same. Or you may also see that the sum of all the antecedent to the sum of all the consequence will also come and reach this ratio. That means what? So this thing will also be equal to what? A plus B plus C plus E. So whatever it is, and B plus D plus F. So it goes like this. This complete thing will reduce to this simpler form of ratios. Okay. So this is what we basically have here. Now, the next thing that I'm going to talk about is variations. Variations, one of the complicated thing. So variations very much important for work, work, men, and time, distance. So all these things you people need to understand carefully, because most of the time it is seen that on direct variations. So this one, what is that? One will not go wrong. But when it comes to indirect variations, one will go wrong. So therefore, we need to be very, very, very careful about that. See, when I say A is directly proportional to B, that means what? As A increases, B also increases. As B decreases, sorry, as A decreases, B also decreases. This is the basic idea that we have. But here, if you see further, so if A is proportional to B, okay, that means what? That implies A will be equal to something constant into B. If I want to remove the proportionality sign, so then what is that I can do is, so A will be equal to some C times B. That means what? A by B will be equal to C if it is directly proportional. That means, so A divided by B will be equal to constant. This is the direct proportion thing. So when multiple things are on the direct proportions, I can take A by B is equals to A1 by B1 is equals to A2 by B2 is equals to A3 by B3 is equals to, all this is equals to one constant element. That is A by B also is equals to this. A1 by B1 is also equal to this. A2 by B2 also equals to this. A3 by this only. They are all equal to what? This particular constant, and usually your direct proportions will be presented in this particular manner. So now if you talk about your inverse proportions, what is that? If you talk about inverse proportions, what exactly happens? A is inversely proportional to B. This is how we represent inverse. Inverse means what? Everyone know. So if A increases, B decreases. If A decreases, B increases. Isn't it? So now if I have something A A is proportional, inversely proportional to 1 by B, this implies if I want to remove the constant, the proportionality sign, so what? A will be equal to C into 1 by B. That means this constant of proportionality will be equal to what? AB is equals to C. See, in this case, so where inverse proportion was there, A into B is equals to C, but in this case, A by B is equals to C. Look at the variations that we have. This implies what? A into B is equals to A dash B dash A double dash B double dash. Or let me do it like this so that you will understand like this. A1 is equals to B1. So A2 into B2 is equals to A3 into B3, which is equals to constant. For example, if they give this one, if we have two ratios which are in this thing. Now, if I want to find the value of B1, so B1 will be equal to what? A into B by A1, isn't it? This is the formula for which one? B1. Okay, where? In inverse proportion. So, but here if I take the same thing, A by B is equals to A1 by B1. So now if I want to find B1 value, so B1 will be equal to what? The cross multiply and pull it up. A1 into B divided by C. Whether this value and this value same? No, right? Here A into B by A1, but in this case you will be seeing that A1 into B by A here. Okay, so that means that is the difference. It's not like uh, direct and indirect will be same. No, it changes the value here. Okay, remember that particular thing. Now let us try to do few problems here. So on the basis of the same thing. Okay. Now I'm going to give few questions. Sum of two numbers. I want everyone to respond here. Sum of two numbers is 84. Okay, we have sum of two numbers 84. If two numbers are in ratio, are in ratio 4 is to 3. Find the two numbers. Find the two numbers. Huh. Quickly, do it. Find the two numbers. This is a simple question. Kindly find. Please respond the answers. Okay, I didn't get the answer for a very long time. Let me explain. Sum of two numbers is 84. Let two numbers be x and y. X plus y is 84. We see that x and y are in the ratio what? 4 is to 3. That is x is to y is in the ratio 4 is to 3. This implies x will be equal to how much? Is it 4 or 4 times a? 4 times a. Some unknown thing. And y is equals to what? 3 times a. So this implies, so 4a plus 3a is equals to 84. 7a is equals to 84. A is equals to 84 by 7. Okay. So that means what is that we have? So which is equals to 12. A is what? 12. So x will be what? 4 into 12. So which is 48. So the other one 3 into 12, 36. If you people want, you people add and see, you will be getting 84 as your answer. Right? This is the thing we have. The next thing that we have here is if 4a is equals to 3a. Oh, sorry. If 4a is equals to 3b, so find 7a plus 9b is 2. So 4a plus 5b. See, if we have 4a is equals to 3b, it is not a, remember 4a is equals to 3b. You need to find 7a plus, so 9b, this is 9b, is to 4a plus 5b. Guys, now you people will be thinking where we have 4a. Okay, do we have to split this 7a in terms of, so this one? Why doing all these things? They have given 4a is equals to 3b. What we can do, let us interchange the terms here. Let me take b here, let me take a here. This becomes a by b is equals to what? 3 by 4. This implies a is to b is equals to 3 is to 4. This implies a will be equal to 3 times x and b will be equal to 4 times x. Isn't it? We got some values. A number is 3 times x and b is equals to 4 times x. Why don't you substitute here? So 7 times 3x plus, so 9 times 4x. So this is one thing. And 4 times 3x plus 5 times 4x. It is equals to, this implies 21x plus 36x is 2. 12x plus 20x we have. So now they are all like terms. So 57x is to 1232x. So any common elements? Only x and x gets cancelled. We don't have any other common elements. So therefore, so this is in the ratio 57 is to 32. They are co-prime numbers. Why? Because their HCF is 1 year. So therefore, the simplification that we get here is, so 57 is to 32 here. Now, on the basis of this only, I would like to say, if a by b is equals to 4 by 5, 2a square plus 3b square divided by 7a plus 6b square. So please find the ratio. Fine. This is find. You try to find what is the value of this particular thing. Now this is for you guys. Kindly do it. Kindly do it. Whether you can determine the value of this or not. Okay. Will you guys do, or should I do it? I'll quickly. So if you, no worries. If you people have any issues, no worries. So here A is equals to what? Definitely no 4. What is A is equals to? So A is equals to 4 times x. B is equals to 5 times x. Okay? So now this becomes what? 2 times 4x whole square plus 3 times 5x, so whole square, 5x whole square, divided by 7 times 4x plus 6 times, so what is that? 5x whole square. Isn't it? So this is the thing we have. So now this becomes what? If you take, so 2 times this will be 16. So 16x whole square plus, so 3 5 is a 50. Sorry, this is like, it is 25, isn't it? So 25, it is 75 x square divided by 28x plus 30. Is it b square we have? Yeah. So we get, so 25, 6 into 25. 6 into 25 will be around 150. So x square. Since x square is there, we can't cancel out anything here. So because we can't cancel, we cannot determine the value. We can't determine the value of this particular thing. Okay. So therefore, when you get something, say when you get powers now, so if it is only here, why did I compare these things? Means I just compared here because I wanted you people, if it is just one power, 1 degree, so linear thing, you people can determine the value. If it is having any other power raised here, so then you can't determine the value here. Okay, so that is the thing that you people need to keep in your mind here. Okay, so this is what we basically have here. So whenever we need to do these things. Okay, so now let me do one more problem here on the basis of this thing here. Yes, yes. Husband's age exceeds that of his wife, that of his wife by 6 years. Before 10 years, before 10 years, the ratio of their ages, the ratio of their ages was 5:4. Find the present age, find the present age of the husband. Tell me. See, a husband's age exceeds that of his wife by 6 years. Okay, before 10 years. The ratio of their ages was 5:4. Find the present age of the husband. What we need to do? To find the present age of the this one. Okay. So 10 years back, the ratio was like this. Husband and wife ratio, what it was? It was like 5:4. Okay. So this implies before 10 years, husband's age was what? Husband's age, how much? 5 times x. Wife's age will be what? Wife's age will be 4 times x at that time. But now, what is that? A husband's age exceeds that of his wife by 6 years. So that means post 10 years. Okay. So, and what is that? What is the this one? So the difference between husband and this one wife's age. So husband and wife's age is 5 times x is equals to 4 times x plus 6y. What is the age difference? The age difference is 6 years. This implies what? 5x minus 4x is equals to 6. That is x is equals to 6 now. So x is equals to 6 in the sense what? Present age of husband is equals to what? 5x plus 10 years. That is 5 times 6 plus 10. So that is nothing but 40 years is this one. Okay. So 40 years is the present age of this one. So now let me give you one more question. If x, find x, find x if x plus 2 is to 4x plus 1 proportional or equal to, so 5x plus 2 is to 13x plus 1. So this is a proportional thing that we have. What is that? If x plus 2 is to 4x plus 1 is proportional to 5x plus 2 is to 13x plus 1. We need to find what? X here. So how can you do this? X plus 2 divided by 4x plus 1 is equals to, what is that? 5x plus 2 divided by 13x plus 1. We all know that the product of extremes is equals to product of means. Even instead of writing this, you people can directly write x plus 2 into 13x plus 1 is equals to 4x plus 1 into what? 5x plus 2. Equate them. 13x square plus x plus 226x plus 2 is equals to what? 20x square plus 8x plus 5x plus 2 we have, isn't it? So now equation, okay, shift this thing to this side. It becomes 20x square minus 13x. So plus 8x minus x. So then plus 5x minus 26x plus 2 minus 2 is equals to 0. So this becomes what? 7x square plus 7x. So your 8x minus this one x. Okay, so what we have done, this is 27x, right? So okay, x, we have taken this, and again we took, what is that, 26. So which is nothing but, so minus 21x and plus 2 minus 2 gets cancelled, 0. So this again becomes what? 7x square minus 14x is equals to 0. So that is 7 times x goes out, x minus, so this one, 2, so is equals to 0. That is 7x is equals to 0, x is equals to 0, or x minus 2 is equals to 0, that is x is equals to 2. So the values of x will be what? Two values will be getting. X is equals to 0 or 2. So we get the value of x, what? Either 0 or 2 will be our this one. Okay, this is how you people need to. This is a quadratic. It ends up with a quadratic equation, and you people will be having this particular thing. The next question that I would like to do here is, if x varies, if x varies directly as y to the power 4 plus 9 and x is equals to 3 and y is equals to 3. Find x when y is 5, when y is 9. X is varying what? X is varying directly with what? Y to the power 4 by 9. Okay. So that means what? We can say that x divided by y to the power 4 plus 9 will be equal to some constant e, isn't it? So now when we take like x is equals to 3, when x is 3, y is also 3. Let's find this constant. 3 divided by what? 3 to the power 4 plus 9 is equals to e. That is 3 divided by 3 to the power 4 is how much? 81. 3 3s are 9, 9 3s are 27, 27 3s are 81 plus 9, which is equals to 3 by 90, which is 3 ones are 1 by 30. That means what? The constant E is what? 1 by 30 now. Okay. Now they are saying you need to find out, so x value when y is 90. That means we all know that x divided by y to the power 4 plus 9 will be equal to 1 by 30 no matter what it is. Now, when you substitute your x divided by y is what? 9 to the power 4 plus 9 is equals to 1 by 30 we have here. Okay. So, therefore, when we substitute here, it becomes what? So, it becomes x divided by 9 to the power 4 is what? 6561. Okay. Plus 9 is equals to 1 by 30. So x will be equal to what? So it will be 6y61 plus 9 divided by 30. So it is nothing but, so it becomes 6570 by 30. So when you take it up, it comes up to 219. So when y is 9, so x will be what? 219. Getting it? This is a mere simplification that we have. Okay, what is this? This is just simply the simplification that we have, the direct proportion wala thing. Getting it? The next question. If x varies directly, if x varies directly with y square plus 18. When y is 18, y is 18, x is also 18. So find y when x is 1. Okay. You need to what? You need to find y when x is 1. Same thing. What is that? X varies directly as y square plus 18. This implies what? So x will be equal to e times, so y square plus 18. This implies what? X divided by y square plus 18 is equals to e. Now, when x is 18, y is also 18. Let us find the constant here. So, 18 divided by 18 square, so plus 18 here. Okay. So, this implies what? 18 divided by 18 times. So, 18 is common. So, 18 plus 1 is equals to E. 18 and 18 gets cancelled. So E is equals to what? 1 by 19. The constant is E is equals to 1 by 19. So therefore, I can take this equation now. So considering this equation, x divided by y square plus 18 is equals to E. What is x? When x is 1, 1 square plus 18 is equals to 1 by 19. So that means what? Sorry, we don't know y square. We need to find it, isn't it? So 1 by y square plus 18 is equals to 1 by 19. This implies what? 19 is equals to y square plus 18. So that is 19 minus 18 is equals to y square. So that is y square is equals to what? It is not just 1. It is plus, so y is equals to plus or minus 1. Why? Because we have y square is equals to 1. So that is y is equals to plus or minus 1. So two values we get. So that is nothing but, so y is equals to plus or minus 1. Getting it? Right. So any doubts, guys? Good, Kashish. You have answered. Any doubts? Okay. I guess so. Ratios, proportions, and all these things are clear for you guys. Okay. Okay, guys. So if you don't have any doubts, so we can wind up the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Also, if anyone has any doubt related to the Ubergrad website or the handouts or recordings, you may ask now. Thank you.